The Hidden Depths of the Bible, A Journey into Spiritual Revelation, authored by Rudolf Steiner, adapted for audio by MindQuest Audios. The Bible's impact on Western culture stands tall, surpassing that of any other document. For centuries, it has deeply influenced humanity's innermost thoughts and actions, shaping our emotional and volitional lives more profoundly than our intellectual pursuits. Even those who challenge its teachings unwittingly reveal its imprint, showing how deeply ingrained it is in our spiritual and scientific endeavors. Yet, many fail to recognize the full extent of its influence, blinded by biases. Over time, attitudes towards the Bible have shifted significantly. In the 19th century, its value and reception changed notably. While some uphold it as a cornerstone of their beliefs, others, driven by a commitment to scientific principles, question its validity. This diversity of perspectives is natural, reflecting the complexity of human thought. Those who staunchly adhere to the Bible often do so out of personal conviction, finding solace and guidance within its pages. However, this singular devotion can sometimes lead to spiritual complacency, hindering broader intellectual exploration. Historically, transformative ideas have often emerged from dissenting voices, eventually gaining widespread acceptance. Today, those who challenge the Bible may inadvertently contribute to the evolution of collective beliefs. Ignoring such dissent carries risks, as it may overlook valuable insights and impede societal progress. In essence, those concerned with humanity's advancement should heed sincere objections to the Bible, recognizing them as part of a broader quest for truth. Understanding these objections enriches our understanding of the Bible's role in shaping our worldviews. In the past, especially during periods of spiritual enlightenment, there was a widespread belief that the Bible held the utmost wisdom, attributed to divine inspiration. Those who reached the pinnacle of spiritual understanding viewed its authors not as ordinary individuals prone to human error, but as vessels of profound insight. However, this reverence has shifted in modern times. In the 18th century, a French scholar observed discrepancies within the Old Testament. He noted conflicting narratives in the creation stories, where one described the 6 or 7 days of creation, including the origin of man, while another presented a different sequence. Additionally, he puzzled over the use of different names for the divine entity, such as Elohim and Jehovah, which were translated differently in various versions of the Bible. This scholar concluded that the Bible couldn't have been the work of a single author like Moses, as traditionally believed. Instead, he speculated that multiple accounts from different traditions were combined, resulting in apparent contradictions. Through careful analysis, he surmised that these accounts were merged without reconciling their inconsistencies. As a consequence of these observations, a form of investigation emerged that could be described as a deconstruction of the Bible. Today, there are versions of the Bible where scholars trace various passages back to different traditions. For example, in the Rainbow Bible, it is noted how certain sections may have originated from diverse legendary sources, leading to the conclusion that the Bible was assembled from fragments of tradition. This approach became increasingly popular, first with the Old Testament and then with the New Testament. The discrepancies among the 4 Gospels became evident upon close examination. Scholars pointed out contradictions between the accounts in Matthew, Luke, and John, raising doubts about their divine inspiration. Some even questioned the historical validity of the Gospel of St. John, considering it more of a hymn reflecting personal faith rather than a reliable historical record of events in Palestine during that era. Consequently, the New Testament underwent critical scrutiny, akin to any other historical document, with scholars aiming to unravel its composite nature and discern the influence of bias and error. On the opposing front, there were those grounded in the empirical findings of natural science. They maintained that the biblical narrative of creation, as depicted in the 6 days, clashed with the evidence presented by disciplines like geology and biology. To them, the biblical story appeared more akin to a primitive myth, attempting to explain the origins of the earth in simplistic terms. Consequently, these individuals distanced themselves not only from the Old Testament, but also from the New Testament, rejecting its miraculous events and questioning the foundational principles of the Bible. Thus, we witness a dual assault on the Bible, one from historical theological investigation, tearing it apart piece by piece, and the other from scientific inquiry, discrediting its accounts in light of empirical evidence. If everyone simply clung to the belief, "I accept what the Bible says," without questioning or seeking deeper understanding, it would be considered egotistical. Such individuals would be solely focused on their own convictions, disregarding the potential evolution of collective beliefs over time. However, there exists another perspective beyond the two previously mentioned. This viewpoint is embodied by spiritual science or anthroposophy, which offers a bridge between the achievements of scientific inquiry and a deeper understanding of spiritual truths. In a similar manner to how scientific pioneers like Kepler, Copernicus, and Galileo revolutionized our understanding of the physical world centuries ago, anthroposophy seeks to shed light on the spiritual dimensions of existence. In earlier times, revered scholars like Aristotle held immense authority, much like the Bible does for many today. Aristotle's works were regarded as foundational, not only in philosophical and scientific circles, but also in academic institutions. People placed greater trust in Aristotle's teachings than in their own observations of nature. However, the advent of scientific inquiry, exemplified by incidents like Galileo's demonstration of Aristotle's errors regarding nerve origins, marked a shift in attitudes toward authority and empirical evidence. Today, it would be deemed absurd to rely solely on ancient texts for knowledge about nature, as scientists now employ instruments and rigorous observation to uncover its mysteries. Similarly, there's a contemporary shift occurring regarding spiritual science and the understanding of spiritual realities. Just as scientific inquiry transformed humanity's relationship with the natural world centuries ago, spiritual science aims to illuminate the spiritual foundations of existence, guiding us toward a deeper comprehension of reality. This ongoing transformation invites us to approach spiritual truths with open-mindedness and impartiality, much like how scientists explore nature with curiosity and skepticism. For centuries, the Bible held sway as the ultimate authority on matters beyond the physical realm, much like Aristotle was revered for his insights into the natural world during the Middle Ages. However, our ability to reassess Aristotle's teachings has stemmed from a greater independence in how we approach the physical world today. Similarly, anthroposophy offers a new perspective by suggesting that direct cognition of the spiritual world is possible for modern humanity. Anthroposophy asserts that individuals can perceive the spiritual world firsthand, independent of traditional beliefs. It teaches that within each person lie dormant faculties capable of awakening to perceive spiritual realities. Just as a blind person might gain sight through surgery and see color and light for the first time, so too can the soul awaken to perceive hidden spiritual truths. Anthroposophy emphasizes the concept of evolution in its fullest sense, acknowledging that just as the physical world evolves, so too do our spiritual faculties. It posits that spiritual beings form the foundation of the physical world and asserts that humans possess the potential to develop organs of spiritual perception. However, it's crucial to note that only a select few individuals are currently capable of fully transforming their souls to perceive the spiritual realm. Such spiritual investigation requires a highly developed soul with awakened spiritual senses. Yet, when insights from these investigations are shared, they require only a discerning mind free from bias to be understood. Just as many struggle to comprehend complex scientific research, understanding spiritual insights necessitates an open mind and willingness to engage with unfamiliar concepts. Anthroposophy asserts that knowledge of the spiritual world gained through direct perception must eventually become part of humanity's collective consciousness. In this way, it seeks to integrate insights from the spiritual realm into our broader understanding of reality. Just as scientific discoveries shape our understanding of the physical world, anthroposophy aims to illuminate the spiritual dimensions of existence, enriching our collective consciousness with insights from the supersensible realm. On one hand, the ancient Bible presents its own perspective on the mysteries of the spiritual realms and their relationship with the material world. On the other hand, spiritual science offers direct insights into the supersensible realm through the experiences of spiritual investigators. This viewpoint parallels the early days of modern natural science, where pioneers sought to unravel the secrets of the physical world through empirical observation, and experimentation. Now, the question arises, how can spiritual science help us understand the truths presented in the Bible? To answer this, we must delve into the specifics. Spiritual science emphasizes the development of soul faculties through disciplined methods, leading to what is termed imaginative knowledge. This form of knowledge is not akin to vague fantasies or experiences like somnambulism. Rather, it requires a rigorous discipline to awaken these faculties. To grasp the concept of imaginative knowledge, let's contrast it with external objective cognition. In objective cognition, we first perceive an object, such as a table, and then form a mental image of it once the object is no longer present. However, in the pursuit of higher knowledge, the process is reversed. One must first transform their conceptual world so that the conception precedes perception. This is achieved through practices like meditation and concentration, where the soul delves deeply into certain abstract concepts not tied to external realities. Consider, for instance, how much of our inner experiences are shaped by external factors like our birthplace and date. Imagine stripping away all external influences and contemplating what would remain in the soul. By temporarily expelling conceptions of the external world and focusing on internal, self-generated concepts devoid of external stimuli, the soul can undergo a transformation. This process allows individuals to cultivate a form of knowledge that transcends external influences and delves into the depths of the spiritual realm. In spiritual science, numerous conceptions serve as keys to unlock the mysteries of the higher worlds, akin to letters of the alphabet that allow the soul to read in the spiritual realm. One such example is the rose cross, a symbol adorned with 7 red roses on a black cross. Devoting a quarter of an hour each day to meditate on this symbol, excluding external distractions, can lead to profound effects on the soul. Let's delve into the intellectual meaning of the rose cross, as a teacher might explain it to a pupil. The teacher instructs the pupil to contemplate the symbolism of the plant growing upward from its roots to the blossom. Comparing the perfection of man with the purity of the plant, we recognize that while man possesses self-consciousness, symbolized by the ego or I, he is burdened with desires and passions. In contrast, the plant lacks self-awareness and remains pure and chaste in its green beauty. Reflecting on the circulation of chlorophyll in plants and the pulsation of blood in humans, we perceive that what manifests as desires and instincts in man is expressed as the blossom in the plant. However, envisioning a future state of man, spiritually purified and liberated from earthly desires, we see a being akin to the pure essence of the plant. This future man achieves a higher self-consciousness, symbolized by the purity of his blood resembling the chaste plant fluids. The red roses in the rose cross prototype signify this future state of man, where his blood attains purity akin to the plant fluids. The black cross represents the struggles and desires of earthly existence, while the blossoms symbolize purity and transcendence. Together, the red roses and the black cross encapsulate the inner call for humanity to evolve beyond earthly limitations. In essence, the rose cross symbolizes the concept of dying and becoming, where man transcends his earthly desires to attain spiritual purity and higher consciousness. It serves as a reminder that growth and transformation are inherent to the human experience, guiding us towards a deeper understanding of our spiritual journey. As mentioned earlier, the intellectual explanation of symbols like the rose cross serves merely as a tool to aid understanding. In meditation, the primary goal is to immerse oneself in the symbol, allowing it to evoke profound effects on the soul's dormant faculties. While the rose cross may not correspond to any tangible reality, its impact on the soul is very real. By allowing the symbol to work upon the soul, one progresses and eventually gains insight into spiritual realities and beings that are otherwise invisible. It's crucial, however, not to become lost in mere fantasy or illusion. Maintaining a sense of reason and groundedness is essential to navigate spiritual experiences safely. A visionary approach can be dangerous. Instead, one should strive for a balanced perception of reality. With patience and diligence, the soul can discern between mere illusion and genuine spiritual reality, leading to clear and meaningful experiences. It's important to understand that perception of the spiritual world differs significantly from that of the physical world. Spiritual realities cannot be directly perceived like physical phenomena, They can only be represented through imagery and symbolism. Spiritual investigation reveals not only the spiritual causes behind physical phenomena, but also sheds light on humanity's spiritual origins. While external natural science can trace humanity's physical evolution, spiritual inquiry uncovers the spiritual origins that preceded our physical existence. Man existed as a spiritual being before manifesting in the physical realm, a truth that spiritual investigation seeks to illuminate. Before the earth took on its physical form, humanity existed within the realm of divine beings. Just as ice condenses from water, physical man condensed from spiritual man. Spiritual science teaches us that the physical world is intricately connected with the spiritual realm. However, the spiritual realities underlying the physical can only be expressed through imagery and symbolism to approximate understanding. When a man attains the spiritual stage of evolution, he rediscovers the imagery found in the Bible's accounts of creation. These images, though not descriptions of physical events, vividly portray the formation of man from the spirit. It's remarkable how the spiritual investigator, without deriving wisdom directly from the Bible, finds profound agreement with its imagery. This agreement is akin to how a natural scientist approaches the physical world, seeking unbiased understanding. One significant point of agreement lies in the beings depicted in the Bible's narrative. Behind the evolution of man stand distinct spiritual beings, described as the Elohim, who worked on the three earlier principles: the physical body, etheric body, and astral body. As the ego was incorporated into man, another spiritual being, referred to as Jehovah in the Bible, joined the work of the Elohim. This cooperation marks a significant transition in human evolution, reflected in the narrative's shift in divine names. Exploring the Bible more deeply, we find that man's origin is described in a twofold manner. First, as a threefold being dissolved into the universe, then emerging anew as a transformed threefold being with the development of the ego. Spiritual investigation reconciles apparent discrepancies in the biblical narrative, shedding light on the profound spiritual truths it contains. From the standpoint of spiritual science, humanity is seen as descendants of divine spiritual beings. Just as a child is the descendant of its parents, man is the descendant of the gods. Thus, we view the human being as an earthman, descended from divine spiritual beings, a perspective that enriches our understanding of human existence. The Bible indeed provides insights into these spiritual truths, but understanding it requires a certain way of reading. For instance, the fourth sentence of the second chapter of Genesis, which speaks of the generations of the heavens, should be interpreted differently. It should be understood as describing the descendants of the heavens and the earth brought forth by divine power. Here, the heavens and the earth refer to divine spiritual beings, whose descendant is man. This aligns precisely with the perspective of spiritual science. Many who criticize the Bible lack real knowledge of its deeper meanings. They attack it without understanding its true essence. The anthroposophical view finds expression in the Bible's text, and through spiritual investigation, one rediscovers its truths independently. The same truths found in the Bible can be uncovered through personal spiritual inquiry. Exploring the Old and New Testaments verse by verse would reveal how spiritual investigation aligns with biblical teachings. However, contemporary interpretations of the Bible often fall short due to their reliance on sense cognition alone. True understanding requires transcending mere philological knowledge and delving into spiritual insights. Just as someone well-versed in geometry can understand Euclid's teachings, a true authority on the Bible is one who can create wisdom from within themselves. The Bible becomes intelligible to those who can penetrate the spiritual world and receive its influences. Such individuals recognize the Bible as the work of initiates and inspired souls, conveying profound spiritual experiences. They understand the hidden meanings within its words, recognizing the wisdom of its authors as originating from the spiritual realms. An experience from my own endeavors sheds light on this matter. During my research at the Goethe archives in Weimar, I delved into the authenticity of Goethe's prose hymn, "To Nature, O Nature, we are encircled and embraced by thee." This hymn, portraying nature's gifts as expressions of love, was initially lost to Goethe but rediscovered later in his life. Some doubted its authorship, attributing it to another. My investigation revealed that while someone else transcribed it, the profound idea and expression belonged to Goethe. Similarly, Disputes over the Bible often focus on who physically wrote certain passages rather than on the spiritual inspiration behind them. In exploring the Bible's content, particularly the Old Testament, controversies may arise due to the passage of time obscuring events. However, those open to understanding its deeper meanings, as illuminated by spiritual science, can recognize its portrayal of the evolution of human consciousness. For instance, the account of Moses encountering God at the burning bush symbolizes his elevation into the spiritual realm. When Moses asks who has sent him, God replies, "I am." This interaction mirrors the process of the incorporation of the ego, resonating with insights gained through spiritual science. The Bible, when approached with a deeper understanding, reveals truths about the spiritual evolution of humanity. Its narratives offer glimpses into the profound experiences of individuals encountering the divine, shedding light on the process of human spiritual development. Just as my investigation into Goethe's hymn unveiled its deeper significance, so too can a sincere exploration of the Bible unveil its spiritual truths. From a Christian perspective, the Bible transcends mere historical documentation. Consider the figure of Paul, whose teachings differ from the gospel narratives. His understanding of Christ arose not from physical events, but from spiritual truths revealed at Damascus. Paul's core teaching revolves around the living Christ, demonstrated by his appearance to Paul and others. His reference to being born out of due time signifies his deep spiritual insight, indicating his conviction rooted in direct perception of supersensible truths. Early Christianity, as propagated by Paul and others, was founded on supersensible realities. The Gospel of John, for instance, reflects the writer's personal spiritual experiences, indicating that Christianity initially gained credence through individuals who glimpsed into spiritual realms. Hence, applying conventional historical analysis to the Bible is inadequate. A deeper exploration of the Gospels reveals them as products of initiated souls, each with varying degrees of spiritual insight, akin to observers describing a landscape from different vantage points. The Gospel of John, considered the deepest, emanates from the writer's heightened spiritual awareness, akin to perceiving the landscape from the mountain summit. Understanding the Bible requires a recognition of its spiritual dimensions, grasping the insights of its authors, who were initiated souls, sharing their encounters with the divine. Thus, the Bible transcends mere historical records, serving as a repository of spiritual truths accessible to those willing to delve into its depths. Spiritual science offers a comprehensive understanding of the Bible, resolving apparent contradictions and unveiling its profound mysteries. Those who embark on spiritual investigation encounter four distinct standpoints regarding the Bible. The first standpoint is that of the naive believer, who accepts the Bible unquestioningly. The second is occupied by those deemed clever, who reject the Bible due to perceived inconsistencies with historical research and science. Then there are the symbolists, who view the Bible as a symbolic narrative, interpreting its stories metaphorically. Finally, spiritual science presents the fourth standpoint, advocating for a literal interpretation of the Bible while delving into its deeper spiritual meanings. The true depth of the Bible will be fully realized in the future, as spiritual investigation independently reveals its spiritual truths. Through initiation, individuals can explore the spiritual world and understand the insights conveyed by those who authored the Bible. Spiritual science promises to unveil the Bible as humanity's most profound document, rich in wisdom and significance. Despite assertions that the Bible's simplicity renders complex explanations unnecessary, it will become evident that the Bible's mysteries transcend mere simplicity. Spiritual investigation will lead humanity back to the Bible, fostering a renewed appreciation for its profound teachings and timeless relevance. Thus, spiritual science serves as a pathway to rediscover and reclaim the profound wisdom encapsulated within the Bible. The end. Thanks for listening to this enlightening audio experience. If you enjoyed what you heard, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. And remember, the journey doesn't end here. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring the wonders of the world. Until next time, take care and keep seeking knowledge.